Plus, we got Murad, Giga Murad. Look at Murad now. That's the old Murad, and this is the new Murad. The glow up is actually insane, coming from Tenacious. It says which Sham says this is actually extremely bullish for SPX 6900. Which version of Murad would retail trust more for financial advice? Keep an eye on Coinbase volume for SPX. Wouldn't be surprised if this haircut if this haircut marked the bottom for it. Look at this haircut, bro. Man. Tell you what. This is like incel. This is this is like incel Cheeto eating you porn, or was it Pornhub watching anime. He definitely has the anime haircut with the glasses. Weezer. This guy looks like he listens to Weezer. This guy, I mean, Murad was like, okay, this isn't working. He went and got Claviculus, or whatever that guy's name is, the guy who reconstructed his face at like 25 years old. Look at what he's done, man. Congrats to Murad. Congrats to Murad. And he's calling SPX 6900 the next GameStop. The next GameStop. Bro went from incel degen to hide your girl, bro. This guy, hey man, he looks fantastic. Pause. I mean, the guy's doing very well. He's like, man, if I'm gonna send SBX, I gotta look like Brad Pitt or something. I don't know. Let's hear what he's got to say a little bit. Hold on. This is just my music, guys. This is not anything too crazy. Relax. Let's see if we can turn him up.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I'd like to discuss why I believe SPX 6900 is going to be the next GameStop. Everything in this video and on this channel is not financial advice and is purely intended for educational purposes. I'm not going to go into too much detail about GameStop and how the GameStop squeeze happened, but I would like to point out some critical details. GameStop, also known as GME, was a stock that famously went up from $3 to over $350 between 2020 and 2021 in the span of several months. By late 2020, 140% of GameStop's public float has been sold short. Observers and users around the Wall Street Bets subreddit strongly believe that the stock was undervalued. Users of the subreddit gradually coordinated together by exchanging information, trades, and memes related to the GameStop stock. This has eventually caused the price of GME to skyrocket from $17 on January 1st, 2021 to over $500 by January 28th, 2021. All in the span of less than 1 month. However, on January 28th, multiple brokerages have halted the ability to buy the GameStop stock. I would like to discuss what the GameStop movement symbolized. GameStop was not fundamentally about cash flows or revenues. It marked a very rare occasion where the small guys, by coming together, won a game that is systemically rigged in favor of the larger players. It was, first and foremost, a metaphysical and socio-financial byproduct of the frustrations and anxieties of the bottom 95% of the population. So why do I believe that a GameStop-like event will repeat itself? Because all those same frustrations and anxieties that have caused the GameStop movement to happen are still present in the hearts, minds, and souls of the population in arguably even stronger ways. Let us compare the state of affairs and the status quo between late 2020 and late 2025.
You know what, though? Just to pause this for a second, you know, he's got the haircut, he's shaved, he's taken off, you know, the glasses, but homie needs to work on his delivery with his hands and also with his eyebrows. You know what I mean? Like, what's up with homie's eyebrows? He's like, and then he's like doing this. He needs to be like, yo, this is what's going on. Whoa, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. You know, he needs to be like doing stuff like that, but I'm interested.
First of all, the money supply is even bigger than it was in 2020, 2021. Everything everywhere is much more expensive compared to 5 years ago. The gap between housing prices and incomes have widened even more compared to 2020.
Yo, we talked about this. Minimum wage. Poverty line, 140K a year. Bro, that means that you need to make $80 an hour. 40-hour work weeks in order to stay above the poverty line, bro. They're not even paying engineers that. I know an engineer that's not even getting paid like $40 an hour. But again, 140K a year before taxes, $80 an hour, bro. $80 an hour. Who's getting that right now? Nobody.
People are reporting much higher rates of loneliness compared to 2020. People are also reporting much worse mental health compared to 2020. The gap between the stock market and the real economy is wider than ever. Wealth and income inequality is also wider than in 2020. 65% of Gen Z aged between 18 and 29 say that they are actively avoiding traditional dating due to career and self-improvement priorities. This number is also up from 48% in 2020. And crucially, all of this is happening before AI and robotics have even begun to mass replace jobs. So will another GameStop-like event happen? I strongly believe that the answer to that question is yes. And I believe that SPX 6900 is GameStop on steroids. What BTC is doing to gold, SPX 6900 is doing to GameStop. In other words, it's a vehicle which is a 10x improvement. For those of you in the crypto space, or you
wait a minute, he just made a major point, but then he showed this picture. Why did he do that? Does anyone know what does that mean? What the hell does that mean? Somebody help me out. I look at memes every day. Am I missing something? What the hell does that mean? He was talking about he was talking about the stock market just outrunning the real economy. And then he talks about AI replacing people, but then he shows this picture. Does anyone know what that means? What does that mean? Oh, it's Pokemon. Oh, okay. Yeah, he needs to get off that. I mean, he's looking a lot better, but get off the nerdy shit a little bit. I don't know. He's showing me Pokemon. I don't know. I'm not an incel. Not to say that Yes is an incel because he knew that was Pokemon, but I don't know. I'm just not into Pokemon. All right, well, let's continue. That was just my fault. All right.
900 is doing to GameStop. In other words, it's a vehicle which is a 10x improvement. For those of you in the crypto space, or those of you that have been in Bitcoin for many years, I'm sure many of you have seen the following table. A table which clearly shows the superiority of Bitcoin over fiat and gold. Whether it's superior portability, superior divisibility, higher scarcity, or more decentralization, divisibility.
Let's take a look at that. Traits of money. Fungible, gold, high. Fiat US dollar, high. Crypto, high. Looks like non-consumables are the same throughout. Portability. Gold is moderate. Okay, I understand that. If you have a lot of gold, you're gonna need a lot of trucks and stuff to move it, and a lot of security because people can steal it. And then you gotta put it somewhere secure. So gold actually sucks really bad in terms of like portability, unless you want to buy it. Of course, like the gold ETFs and stuff like that, or through a gold exchange, they rip you off. So let's see here: durable, high, gold, fiat, moderate. Hold on, let me turn this off. This is like sneaking up on me. Hold on. Let me do. That was crazy. Hold on, we'll put that music back on later. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's see here. Secure, cannot be counterfeited. Gold can be counterfeited. So can fiat. Bitcoin cannot. Easily traceable. Easily transactable. Gold very low. Yeah, I mean, if you want to say, all right, bro, I'm gonna give you $5 million in gold. It was like back the truck up, or get yourself some duffel bags. You know what I mean? Or get yourself like one of those wheelie things that move boxes. I forget what they're called right now, but Fiat's very high too. Okay, fiat. Okay, easily trans. I don't know if fiat is easily transactable, because if you're talking about actual cash, if I need like drug deals and stuff like that, if I need to go, get you $10 million, and for some whatever product, bro, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of duffel bags. It's gonna be very, obvious. High chance we can get robbed. Drug dealers are the biggest folks get robbed. Because of that, they got cash laying around. But crypto seems to be easily transactable, scarce, predictable supply. Let's see if we can. Is that too big? Let's see here. Well, yeah, that is too big. Hold on. It's a little better. Let's see here. Scarce, moderate. See, the thing is with gold. Here's the thing with gold, right? Is that you like the elites can find a new gold mine, and then they can find all this gold and dilute the price of gold at any time. And actually, they know where more gold is at, but they're just not going to tell us, until it's the right time for them to drop the price of gold or whatever, right? Fiat, secure, predictable, scarce, predictable supply, very low. I mean, look, in 2 days, the Fed is going to print $40 billion. Is it raining? Well, it's raining. $40 billion out of nothing. Just throwing it into the market. So fiat, the US dollar, is not scarce. The Fed can print money at any time, which is terrible. Crypto, of course, Bitcoin is scarce. Sovereign, gold is low. Government issued. Yeah. Crypto is low. Sovereign. Government issued is low. Crypto is low. Decentralized. Low, fiat low. Okay, smart program. Bitcoin's high. Okay, so he's trying to make a point here.
Superior divisibility, higher scarcity, or more decentralization, it is abundantly clear that Bitcoin represents the same ideas as gold, but taken to their logical extreme. I believe SPX 6900 is doing something to GME, or more precisely, what GME stood for. Let's dive deeper into all the ways in which SPX 6900 is superior to GME. First and foremost, and arguably the most important, is that SPX 6900 is structurally decentralized. Crucially, all of GME trading is taking place on centralized equity trading platforms. On the other hand, much of SPX 6900 trading is taking place on decentralized blockchains. At a high level, trades of GME and other stocks like it are settled on the New York Stock Exchange, and you need one of the Western stock brokerage accounts in order to participate in something like it. On the other hand, SPX 6900 is a hybrid model where roughly half of the trading is taking place on decentralized blockchains, while the other half is trading place on various centralized crypto exchanges.
Bro, SPX, I mean, let's say it out loud. It's a meme coin. It's a meme coin. He's making SPX sound like, GameStop, at least it's a real store. I don't know. I can't buy anything at it from SPX, you know what I mean? Other than some t-shirts. But GameStop, I can go get some games. But I mean, I get what he's saying here, but it's almost
importantly, nobody can stop the trading of cryptocurrencies in its entirety. You can trade SPX 6900 on Ethereum, you can trade SPX 6900 on Solana, you can trade SPX 6900 on Sui, BNB, as well as Base. You can access this trading through a variety of DeFi dApps such as Uniswap, Radium, Meteora, Aerodrome, and many, many others.
Bro, I know. Yes, is like the issue is he sounds like he's trying to sell the coin to you. I know, bro. I mean, it sounds like he sounds like every other meme coin website where it's like, "Hey, we're SPX. You can find us on a bunch of places." And here's our website, and here's our, here's how you buy, and sounds like the same old thing. I mean, this is a reach. And then the thing is that GameStop happened organically. It's not like somebody came out and said, "All right, guys, you're about to experience the GameStop pump." No, it just happened. You know what I mean? But you can't come out and say we are the next GameStop. I mean, I think there's been, I don't know, probably like 1 billion meme coins that have come out and said that since GameStop pumped. How many times over the last couple of years have we heard, "Hey, we're so and so meme coin"? Well, you know what, guys? You know what? We're the next GameStop. You know what I mean? Like, how many times have we heard that before? I've heard a lot about this video today, guys. My first time watching it. This is my first time watching it, and we're almost through it. We're halfway through it, but I mean, I've heard nothing but, "Wow, Murad's video is insane today. It's incredible. He's so different. He's just so profound." I like Murad. But man, I mean, there's not much to this video. But I mean, maybe that's bullish. Maybe people are ready to hear meme coin bullshit again. That would be great for everybody watching. You know what I mean? That would be great for everybody watching. But let's see what else. Let's see what else he has to say here.
Alternatively, for people that are less crypto savvy, they can also buy, hold, sell, and trade their SPX 6900 tokens on centralized exchanges such as Coinbase, Bybit, and many others. What's very important to understand is that the equities market structure, clearing structure, and settlement structure is very complex, very opaque, and most importantly, has a number of centralized choke points. Whether it is multiple brokers, multiple clearing houses, multiple depository institutions, multiple banks, multiple transfer agents,
multiple brokers, multiple clearinghouses, multiple depositories, multiple banks, multiple transfer agent, multiple custodians, multiple centralized exchanges, multiple. That was sick, Murad. That was sick. I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to say multiples ever again. I was gonna be like multiple. Stare, how, dude? How high is this meme coin gonna go? I'm just gonna be like multiple. Yo, that's my new word. Yo, wow. This coin's going up. Multiple. I love it.
multiple custodians, and multiple centralized whether it is multiple brokers, multiple clearing houses, multiple deposit.
Multiple. Somebody clip that. That is so funny. That is so funny. Hey, one of the 5 people watching me, can you just clip that out?
Multiple brokers, multiple clearing houses, multiple depository institutions, multiple banks, multiple transfer agents, multiple custodians, and multiple centralized exchanges, not to mention the centralized nature of the corporation itself. There are many centralized choke points in this system. If any of these stakeholders stop functioning, the entire trading microstructure is at the risk of halting. The next GME will not rely on traditional clearing, settlement, trading, and exchange infrastructure. Therefore, in my opinion, the next GME is unlikely to be a stock. I believe that the next GME is going to be a decentralized crypto asset trading on decentralized blockchains. The key insight here is that the rails on which equities trade are extremely centralized, while the rails on which crypto assets trade are quite decentralized.
Has Murad ever done, like, is he a YouTuber? I'm seeing a lot of videos from him recently. Is he? I thought he just did videos every once in a while, like as like interviews. Like he'd be interviewed and for an hour, and then he'd go back into the shadows. But he's really come out. I've seen him doing a lot of videos, and he's got a podcast mic, and he's just bull posting SBX. I mean, hey, more power to him.
What's also quite interesting is that any equity or any company, including but not limited to GameStop, can issue more shares and effectively dilute you as an investor. On the other hand, SPX 6900 has all of its rules fully fixed and fully frozen based on the rules of smart contract code. So creation of more coins is impossible.
Wait a minute. All right, this is something I've never heard that before. Wait a minute. So SPX has a contract that's like renounced to where it can't create more coins and dilute the contract, dilute the coins. That's insane. That's incredible. That's like unlike anything I've ever heard before. And it's different than GameStop. Is actually better. Wow. I'm joking, guys. That's every meme coin ever made.
Additionally, TradFi stocks are ran by a board of directors and by management teams, both of which are extremely centralized. On the other hand, a crypto movement such as SPX 6900 is a pure swarm with no leaders. There's no board of
a pure swarm with no leaders, and also like there's like nobody's doxxed and everyone just has milady PFPs. I'm not trolling Murad. I'm sure I'll meet him one day and he'll bring up this video. Be like, Stayer, you're such a freaking asshole. I hate you. And I'm gonna have multiple security guards beat your ass. Yo, I have multiple AKs shooting up your house, Stayer.
Directors, there's no CEO. The system is far more decentralized than any company, equity, or corporation. The ultimate goal here is to be like a murmuration of birds, extremely decentralized, distributed, robust, and anti-fragile.
Murad's cooking, guys. Murad's cooking. He's damn it, man. See, I gotta do this. I gotta say, you know what? This meme coin that Stayer's pushing, it's like a murmurature of birds. There's multiple birds. There's multiple wings. There's multiple beaks. There's multiple seeds for these birds to eat.
Distributed,
Sorry.
robust, and anti-fragile.
We're having fun. We're having fun. Shout out to Murad.
Of course. But another headline that I've read a few months ago is that the American regulatory bodies do not consider meme coins as securities. On the other hand, stocks are obviously securities. The other limitation of tying up a social movement to an equity or a stock is that you need a Western brokerage account in order to access it. On the other hand, when it comes to crypto, all you need is a wallet, which...
No way. Wait a minute. So GameStop, you have to call up Charles Schwab you have to actually speak to Charles Schwab to buy GameStop. That's how it worked. Because when you're like, F the system, F the elites. Wait a minute. I'm gonna buy some GameStop. I'm gonna screw the system. We're gonna disconnect from the system. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to call Carl Schwab. Hello, Carl Schwab. Or Charles Schwab. Yes, give me 1,000 shares of GameStop. And one more thing. Fuck you. Fuck the system. Is that how it worked back then? But now it's different. Now, keep in mind, SPX 6900 is the only coin that can do this. This is the only coin, all right? You can buy it on Phantom. You can buy it on MetaMask. You can buy it on Trust Wallet. This is groundbreaking. And this is the reason, honestly, because you can get SPX 6900 on Phantom and MetaMask. It's the next GameStop. It's just going to be like, you know what? I didn't know I was doing this before. I've been using GameStop for the last, or Phantom for the last year, at least. You know, MetaMask for the last 4 or 5 years. I didn't know I was about to use it to buy SPX and F the system, because the stock market is outrunning the real economy and we can't stand it anymore. SPX is the way. Sorry, let me get back to this.
Anybody can install on their laptop or their smartphone. Additionally, the GameStop movement was predominantly focused on American retail investors. A crypto asset, on the other hand, can get buyers, believers, and supporters from anywhere on the planet. Ultimately, the short to medium term goal of GME was to squeeze 2 or 3 hedge funds that were short GME, a goal in which they have succeeded. However, I would argue that the ambitions and the goals of SPX 6900 are much, much bigger, given that the core goal is to flip the entire stock market.
So GameStop is centralized, SPX is decentralized, trading on centralized platforms, GameStop trading on decentralized blockchains, issues new sharp, what? No new insurance, all right. A security, not a security, leaders, no leaders. Okay, this is all a summary of what he said before. Squeezes the 3 hedge funds, flips the entire stock market. So SPX will flip the entire stock market. SPX is going to destroy the stock market. It's going to suck the liquidity out of it all. That's crazy. I don't think he should have made that claim. That's going to be a little hard to believe. I think that's the last thing retail's going to believe before, they get an SPX. I really hope they do, but shout out to Murad. I might be in a buffet line next to Murad in Dubai come next spring. And he's going to be like, Stayer, remember that fucking video that you made about me where you just kept repeating multiples? You thought that was funny? This guy's going to be so
SPX
pissed.
6900 are much, much bigger, given that the core goal is to flip the entire stock market. Last but not least, GameStop is something that has arguably already happened. On the other hand, I believe that the giant SPX 6900 parabolas are yet to come. I believe SPX 6900 represents the manifestation of the collective unconscious.
Wow, this is the longest 10-minute video of all time. I think the videos I make go by like that. Why is it like... Is it just me, or is it like really hard to get through these videos? Like, he's not entertaining at all. He has a new haircut, but I don't know.
Create an ultra GME that is even more robust, anti-fragile, unstoppable, and more powerful than its predecessor. What do people already know about these markets? Meme coins can go from 100 million to 50 billion plus in the span of just a few weeks. Meme stocks can also go from $3
Yes said, elites can suck my meats,
to $500 plus in the span of several months. People can come together to build large and powerful assets. And that social media is now playing a large and growing role in financial markets. I believe that another GME-like event where retail investors congregate around a single asset to make it a massive and outside success is very much likely to repeat again. I believe that the next GME-like phenomenon is not going to be a stock, but a crypto. I also believe that the next GME-like phenomenon is not going to be a utility crypto, but rather a memetic crypto asset. Due to its relative outperformance,
Whoa. Wow, that's another new word. I'm going to start using that. Wow. Did you hear what he just said? I'm gonna start using that. They're like, Stayer, so do you like push meme coins or something? Like, no, I'm an engineer in memetics. I'm a memetical engineer. I engineer memetics. I perpetuate the growth of the memetic system. You know what I mean? Memetics. Wow. Hey, yes, I'm in memetics. I'm not a meme coin like KOL pusher guy. I'm actually memetics now. So, my prices just went up, guys. Prices just went up. Stayers and memetics. This is great. That was actually really cool of him, because, man, I didn't take myself seriously enough.
GME-like anti-establishment culture, deep lore, and an insane community, SPX 6900 is by far the strongest candidate in the entire crypto universe to become that next GME-like massive cultural phenomenon, and potentially something even bigger. Stop trading and believe in something.
Wow. Dude, that was incredible. That was incredible. I feel like shorting SPX 6900.